Man. Man on the street. Welcome to another edition of Man on the Street. Mothers, or in the language of the hoi polloi, moms. This is the subject of this edition of Man on the Street. Mothers are vital to our existence. They cook for us, they clean for us, they chauffeur us everywhere, and unfortunately, and thus the reason for this particular Man on the Street, mothers embarrass us. So without further ado, we're going to go to your moms, your mothers, and have them embarrass you. So without further ado, moms, embarrass your kids. Here with Mrs. Davidson, the first mom. Okay, what do you have for us, Ruthie?
Okay, this is a picture of John.
Go ahead and hold it.
Okay. This is a picture of Jonathan when he was younger.
Oh.
Okay, cute kid. Okay. But this is one of our favorite pictures of John. This was taken when he was 4 years old, and we had company, and he was in his pajamas, and he was in another room while we were entertaining our company, and he was dressing himself up as a Statue of Liberty. We didn't know he was doing that, and that's typical of Jonathan because he is quiet, but he still knows how to get plenty of attention, and he's been doing that since he was very small. So he dressed up like Statue of Liberty, and while we were visiting with our company, he marched in and just never said a word. He just quietly posed, struck a pose, and our company was very impressed. And we snapped his picture, a couple pictures, and I sent his picture to a local newspaper, just thinking, well, maybe they'll print it, and because the Statue of Liberty was being renovated at that time, and they did, and he got put on the front page of the newspaper in his pajamas, dressing like Statue of Liberty, and that's just kind of a typical Jonathan scene. He never says a word, but you know he's going to be the center of attention somehow. And then this is Bethany. This is her kindergarten graduation. And I have a funny story to tell about her when she was that age. Bethany, she has two older brothers, and she's always been a tomboy. And I have tried from the day she was born to get her not to be a tomboy. I didn't want her to be too tomboy. So I would dress her up in pretty little dresses and put bows in her hair and everything, and try to get her to be prissy, and I gave her ballerina lessons and all that, and it was all to no avail. She was going to be a tomboy. Although she's still a tomboy now. We're at her baseball game now, but she knows how to be a lady too, and I'm very proud of her. But now I have to stop and think what story I was going to tell about her. Oh, okay. I dressed her up for Sunday school one morning when she was this age, got her all prissed up and put a bow in her hair and real fancy dress. Am I taking too long, Sean? No, okay. Fancy dress and a cute little purse. And her Sunday school teacher, she just horrified her Sunday school teacher. She was looking so cute, and her Sunday school teacher told us that she said, Bethany, you look so pretty, and I love your bow, and I love your dress, and your purse, and what's in your purse? And Bethany said, you want to see? And the teacher said, yeah. And Bethany pulled out a knife, a nice big knife, and she pulled out a snake. And, you know, that's the typical kind of things that Bethany played with. when she was a child. So that's kind of what she did. She just copied after her brothers. The snake and the knife were not real, but those were the kind of toys that she used to love. And I tried to get her interested in baby dolls, and it was no use. But that's our little Bethany, and that's my story. That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Say hi to John and Bethany.
Hi, John and Bethany. Love you. Okay.
We are, yeah. I'm going to hand you the mic. This is mom number 2, Denise. Say hi to your sons and the youth group, and then go ahead and say whatever you want to say.
Okay. Hi, sons. Hi, youth group. This is what I have to say, and I had to write it down, so just forgive me here if I don't look right into the camera. Okay? Well, here I am. This is where I have lived for the past 10 years during the spring. Where? Here, in the bleachers, at the baseball diamonds. It all started with Michael. He's quite the baseball player. He started hitting home runs, and I got hooked. He's a great kid, that Michael. Now I come out here to watch him umpire. I guess 10 years of baseball has paid off. Now Michael can umpire and make money and buy me a present for Mother's Day. He even gets to umpire his brother's games. I guess the Lord knew how much I enjoyed watching my little Michael hit home runs, because he made sure I'd be in the stands for the next 10 years at least. Gave me 4 more boys. Jason is also an awesome baseball player, although he just missed a play at shortstop. I didn't think so at first. He did manage to hit a home run his first year, but as he ran around the bases, that's exactly what he did. He ran around them. He forgot to step on the bases. He's never made that mistake again. I can't really think of many funny stories about Michael and Jason, except maybe the way Jason used to hum. He used to hum everywhere he went, from about the age of 2 to age 8. We called him the little hummer boy. Michael has always been a smart little boy. He accepted Christ as his Savior when he was just 4 years old. He understood the gospel, but he got a little confused when he said the prayer, and he asked Jesus into his stomach. I guess he thought there was more room there. Michael and Jason have brought me so much joy and laughter over the last 16 and 14 years. They are truly gifts from the Lord, and I love them with all my heart. And I'm very thankful for both of you on Mother's Day. Bye.
Blow him a kiss or something.
Oh, okay. Mwah. Bye. Cut.
There's Jason.
That's why. Don't argue with me.
There's Jason. Out in the field, shortstop, number 1. Golden Glove.
I don't partake within any getting the person's district. And I can. So now.
Okay, mom number 3.
Mom number 3, huh?
Say hello to the kids.
Hi, kids.
Okay, what do we have here?
Okay, well, we got pictures. This was very hard for me to do because I have so many pictures, and looking through them all, it made me realize how much the kids had grown. Over here are pictures basically of Amber. Amber was oh gosh, she was a beautiful baby. She was just absolutely beautiful. As she got older, like in this picture here, you can see she was always busy and nosy. and she was always constantly going. You couldn't get her to sit still. She took baton, and she was in the dance, and this is a picture of her in her first little bikini that her Aunt Deb got her.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah, she was my sweetie. Her favorite color was purple. In fact, it was so much that the first time she ever had a school Easter egg hunt, the only Easter eggs she'd pick up were the purple ones. So she had a basket full of purple eggs. And Amber was a good baby. She was real sweet. She was just always going. She was the one that would take a 5-minute cat nap and wake up and be ready to go the rest of the day. She was a little powerhouse.
Yeah, she's still a powerhouse, isn't she?
Yeah. And over here is Keith. Now,
There's my favorite right there,
yeah,
boy.
there we go.
Yikes.
And as y'all can see, Keith started out early doing his faces and monster looks. And here he's eating his first peanut butter sandwich.
Where's that one?
Up there. And he's always been a whiny baby when he don't get his way. He played soccer when he's about 5, and this picture is, I guess he's about 8. As you can see, he broke his arm. That was my Mother's Day present. He did that exactly on Mother's Day, and he was really busy. And here we have him when we first brought Keith home, Amber and Keith together.
Oh.
And there they are together there. They actually liked each other. In this picture, Amber decided, I guess it was 2 days before the picture was to be taken, to give herself her own haircut. And here they are with Santa Claus. And I know they fight a lot, but they really are a good team. When I first started letting them stay home by themselves, Amber decided that they could stay home by themselves. So I got a phone call at work, and it was Keith, and he said, Mom, can you call the apartment lady and tell her to come let me in the apartment? And I said, Keith, how did you get out of the apartment if you can't get back in? He said, well, we locked ourselves in my room. And we lived upstairs, and I said, well, Keith, how are you out and Amber's still locked in the room? And he goes, well, we tied the bed sheets together, and Amber lowered me out of the window. So I had to go tell my supervisor, at the time was Fred, that I had to leave to go home to let my child in who had climbed out of the bedroom window to get out to go escape. And
Boy.
I never got those sheets untied. And Keith's always been what I would call resourceful. And here they are with Brandon when Brandon was a baby. And they loved Brandon very much. They used to like to pick on Brandon and bully him. And I told him that one day Brandon would get even with him. And sure enough, when Brandon started walking, Keith was asleep one night, and Brandon snuck in the bedroom and hit him in the head with a belt buckle. He would wait till we were asleep. So well, that's them.
That's great.
Yeah, they're a mess.
Okay. Well, blow them a kiss and tell them to be sure and remember Mother's Day.
Yeah, remember Mother's Day. I love you guys, and this was my turn to tell on y'all. Keith's favorite color, by the way, was pink, so y'all might tease him about that.
Okay, I'm going to end with one final closing shot of my favorite picture.
All right.
There it is. There it is. Yikes. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, thanks. Tell you what.
And here we are with another mom. This is Nancy. This is Matt Reese's mom. And this is who?
This is Gigi.
Gigi.
This is Matt's dog. He's had him since had her since he was 3 years old.
Oh. Well, Nancy's going to give us a tour of Matt's room.
Okay. Matt was born October 7th, 1984, and he's always loved fishing, all kinds of animals, and he's collected knives. And you can tell all the fish stuff in his room.
Mm.
And the funny story, I guess it's funny, that I'd like to tell is We were in the drive-thru at the bank one day, and we had our windows rolled down, and the man in the line next to us, Matt, just looked over at him and said, "Fish face." So he likes fish so
What
much.
a charming boy.
Yes.
And what do we have over
This
here?
is Matt's pet snake, Ashley.
Ooh.
She's right there. She's sleeping right now. She's, oh, I guess, what, about 2 feet long? Maybe not
Really?
quite that long, yeah.
I don't see her head.
Let's see. Oh, her head, let's see. Here, I could lift this up if you like.
Oh. Are you scared?
No, she won't.
That
See,
was-
that's one thing about Matt is I grew up in the city with no pets or anything, and Matt has taught me all about nature and how to appreciate and love animals. Now watch her bite me. After saying that.
Oh,
Look at it here.
it's probably awake now, huh?
Yeah. There she is.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's Ashley.
Ashley.
He dated. He went with a girl at school for a while. named
Oh,
Ashley.
that sounds like a good story.
Yeah.
Ashley. She was a real snake, I guess, huh? Probably not a good relationship or something if he named his snake after her.
Yeah, can you imagine how poor Ashley feels?
Oh, man.
Okay. His dad here,
Yeah?
and this is probably too small to see, but his dad, stepmother, little brother, and stepsister.
Oh, yeah.
It's his other family at his other home.
What a charming family.
Yeah. Then this family in this house, his stepbrother Aaron.
Oh, there's Aaron and Jean and Nancy and Matt.
And then
Is he a pretty good skier?
yeah, they both are excellent. And then Matt loves pocket knives, so he's had this collection since he was about 4 years old.
Wow.
Is that something?
Wow, what does he do with these knives?
He just collects them and doesn't really play with them much. You know, uses occasionally, but this is his latest one. He got it first Monday this weekend. Has a
Oh.
compass on the end.
He's kind of a little Rambo then, isn't he?
Yeah. I was hoping it keeps under control. Well, I guess that's about it. Right over here is a picture of. You can come in, Jean. No, that's okay. It's all right, honey. This is right here is a picture of Matt when he was about 5 months old,
Oh.
and we found this picture of his dad, the same age, in the same position.
Oh, how cute.
So.
We had some nude pictures earlier of one of the other kids
Oh.
when he was about that age. So
Oh, great. They're
So-
going to love that.
I'm sure Matt's glad he was clothed.
And this is Jean, Matt's stepdad.
Hi, Jean. How you doing? Kind of got the sun.
Hi.
Can you think of some funny stories to tell about Matt?
Oh, about Matt? Oh, you put me on the spot now.
Yeah.
I didn't give it any thought.
Well,
Well, that's all right.
I
Probably
talked
not
about,
too many funny stories, huh?
Yeah, I told him about calling it the fish face because he, the guy at the bank that time called fish face.
Mm.
And one story that Matt and I laughed a lot about is his dad used to say adios to him at night instead of good night. So when he got to where he could talk, he said, "Pantyhose, Daddy." And his dad said, "What?" He said, "Pantyhose." And he was trying to say adios.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I guess probably got time to wrap it up.
Okay. So say goodbye and blow Matt a kiss.
Okay, goodbye, Bible study class. Bye, Matt.
This is Mary. This is Doug's mom. Say hi to Doug, Mary.
Hey, Doug.
Say hello to the youth group.
Hey, guys.
Okay, and Mary's going to tell us some stories about Doug.
Well, first of all, I want you to see Doug when he was about 6.5 months old. And I figure that his first love is a computer, and I figure that even at this age he was getting geared up to be big on the computer. He already had the eyes for it. And he got a little older. He was warming up for the computer again by playing on a keyboard, not quite the same as a keyboard on a computer, but he was working on his music and computer talent.
Isn't he cute?
And then a little older, once again preparing for that computer skill, he started out with the video games. One of my favorite stories about Doug was when he was about 4 years old. His older brother, David, who's 8.5 years older than he is, had fallen off his skateboard and sprained his wrist. And of course we put an ace bandage on it. Doug thought that was just really neat. And that night when I was walking past his room and Doug was supposed to be in bed, he was sitting on his bed crying and going and rubbing his leg. And so I said, well, Doug, what's the matter? He says, oh, my leg, it hurts. And I said, well, what'd you do to it? And of course he didn't know what he'd done to it. I said, well, what do you think is wrong with it? He says, I think I've got a crank or a spring. Which of course he meant a cramp or a sprain because he'd heard that with his brother. So I said, well, what do you think we ought to do about it? Well, he thought he needed one of those ace bandages like his big brother had. So he wore the ace bandage to bed that night. Then the next morning I made him take it off. He went all day without it, and the next night, again, he still really thought he needed the ace bandage. When Doug was this age, I might just mention that we had our own nicknames for him, other than Dougie, which stuck with him for a long time. Dougaroni, Dougaroo, and also Sweet Pumpkin.
Oh, Sweet Pumpkin.
And in fact, the first time at Halloween, we went over to a lady's house and she had pumpkins out on the front porch. She goes, Mommy, Mommy, Sweet Pumpkins! So as far as he's concerned, that was the real name for him. Anyway, now my name for him is My Favorite Teenager.
Oh. Now, do you think these things will embarrass him at all?
I hope so. I'm sure they will.
Well, how about you say goodbye to the youth group and blow Doug a kiss?
Okay, bye guys. Love you, Doug.
Well, that's it for this edition of Man on the Street. Hey, don't forget to honor your mothers this coming Sunday, May 11th, 1997.